Okay, I'm going to try to explain this real quick. About 2 months ago, I had asked, I believe, Love by the King, to pray for my stepson and my wife that they would get rapture dreams because I was concerned that they were not watching and not interested. Uh, my stepson is, they are both believers, grace believers. My stepson is turned 18, he's going off to college, and he's just starting the next chapter of his life and just does not want to hear anything about world news. He's never been interested anyway, but he tunes out when you talk about the Lord's coming. Um, and then my wife has historically had almost like PTSD symptoms anytime you bring up the Lord's coming because she grew up in a household where they watched prophecy, but there wasn't clear teaching about grace or the pre-trib rapture or anything like that. It was more like all these terrible things are going to happen, and that's what, and somebody, you're going to get your head cut off and blah blah blah. So anytime I've ever brought it up, it's created a lot of stress and strife, um, because of the fear, and some of that fear is related to condemnation because she needed a greater footing on grace, and the Lord has taken care of that. Well, anyway, um, I asked Love by the King, I believe it was her, to pray that they'd get dreams. And instead of them getting the dreams, I got the dreams that night, two dreams, one for each of them. And in the first one, um, there was all this strife in my house between me and my wife, and there was family there, and we couldn't get alone. And there was just so much stress and strife. And then finally, I got her alone. I found us alone in one of the bedrooms, and she was putting on a wedding dress, and I was helping her, and everything was peaceful, and there was no strife. And when I woke up, the interpretation of that dream that I got was that, number one, she is going to be rapture ready, that God would prepare her. I thought I was supposed to prepare her, but I didn't know quite how. Okay. And anyway, I was just like comforted by this because it's like the strife will stop when she's ready, and she will be ready. So that was good. And then the second dream I had that same night was I knew it was time for the rapture. And I was looking all over for my stepson because he was supposed to be at a camp, and we couldn't find him. And it was just this dream about trying to find him, from driving all around trying to find him. He wasn't at the camp, and he was nowhere to be seen. And when I woke up from that, I was actually comforted because I felt that that was a confirmation that he was going to be raptured, but we wouldn't necessarily be together when it happened. Uh, and that settled my fears for my family. And that was about 2 months ago. Okay, so today, yesterday, I'm sorry, I have been bringing up the fact we're going to go to California. We planned the trip a year ago when the fires were going on. We plan a vacation every year, and this time it was going to be just me, my wife, and my 5-year-old. And I didn't want to go really. I felt like California, no, there's judgment there. I don't want to go there. I felt like that all along, but she's pretty stubbornly insistent, and we planned it. And I felt, well, it won't matter anyway because we probably won't be here. Because that's the sense I've had the whole time was we're not going to California. Now it's upon us. It's about a week and a half away. Well, anyway, I told her about the earthquakes, and she was like, she didn't want to hear it. But then last night, on the second one, the 7.1, that got her attention. And she was looking all over the news and watching videos, and she was talking, and she was like, I don't know, because it became immediate, a very practical matter. Do we cancel this trip or do we go? Is it safe? And she was saying, they're saying 10% chance of a bigger one, but I already know that this is God's judgment. And she said that, and this is, they're talking about probabilities, but the Lord is the one in control here. And clearly we are, on the cusp of judgment. This country, and she's like, and also you look at all the other puzzle pieces and we're about to go. I just know we're about to go, she says. She said, I don't think we came to the conclusion we're not going to cancel the trip. We're just going to, because we have peace. But what I noticed was, number one, there was no strife. Number two, she was able to talk about this freely. Number three, I could tell she was excited about it. And I remembered that dream. And it was, wow, she's got her wedding dress on. Because the only thing we need is an excitement, a peace with the Lord that allows us to face the judgment seat without fear, to confidently approach Him. And the Lord has healed her conscience and now settled her fears. And she has that peace. Okay. Now, here's the other part. My stepson went away to camp yesterday. He is going to be gone for 2 weeks for a camp, and then when he comes back, we're going to be in California. So and then he's got 1 week left, and he goes off to college. So our time together as this family unit is done. But interestingly, he's at camp while this is all going on. And in my dream with her, the house was cleared out, and we finally had a moment alone, and she was able to put on her wedding dress, because a lot of her fears related to the rapture had to do with, a mother's concern for her kid and what is he going to go through. And somehow, even though it's a sad and bittersweet, he's moving on into adulthood, and it's not quite our responsibility. Plus, he's ready. We've had a couple conversations with him in the last couple of weeks about the Lord, that to know where he stands with the Lord. And so it's interesting because all the strife ceased. And this morning I went out with my 5-year-old and my wife and the two dogs, and we went garage sailing together. I haven't been garage sailing with my wife for years. I hate garage sailing, but I just wanted to be with my family. We have so much. It was a breakthrough in the atmosphere in our home. And it has to do with, somebody leaving, but at the same time, facing the Lord's coming, we know. And I feel like both those dreams are being fulfilled right now. Um, and I just think it's very interesting. He's at camp. We're supposedly go to California, but she's got her wedding dress on. We are ready. And I just thought I'd throw that out there in the light of everything that's going on as possibly another confirmation. We'll see. We'll see if we end up going to California. We'll see if we get raptured. We'll see if the Lord delays or comes quickly. But I want him to come quickly. Okay, talk to you later.